I made you believe we're more than just friends. Oh, honey child, it might seem like a crush, but that don't mean that I'm serious. 'Cause to lose all my senses, well, you know that's just Louis Armstrong's game. Ha 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 ha. Oh baby, oops, I did it again. I played with your heart, got lost in the game. Oh honey child, oops, you think I'm in love?
I have it all figured out. It's an 18-hour drive from here to there. So I figure if we break it down into 6 shifts of about 3 hours each, we can do it that way. Alternatively, there's a map in the visor, in the visor up here. If you wanna see how I broke it down by mileage, that way we can stop.
Sunflower seed?
I don't eat between meals. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll roll down the window. So tell me about your life.
My life.
Well, it's 18 hours till we hit New York.
It's just that there's not much to really say to get us out of Chicago, you know? I mean, that's why we're going. That's why I'm going to New York.
So that something will happen to you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like I'll go there and I'll study journalism and I'll be a reporter.
So you can report about what happens to other people.
That's one way of looking at it.
So suppose you go to New York and nothing happens to you. Suppose you live your whole life and you never become anybody or do anything. And then you end up dying one of those New York deaths where no one even notices for 2 weeks until the smell comes drifting into the hallway.
Made a mention that you had a dark side.
That's what drew her to me.
Your dark side.
Yeah, don't you have one? No, I suppose you're one of those happy people that dots their eyes with little hearts.
I have just as much of a dark side as anybody else.
Oh, sure. You know, when I get a new book, I read the last page first. That way, in case I die, I know how it ends. That, my friend, is a dark side.
That doesn't make you deep or anything. I suppose I'm a happy person, yeah. But,
so am I.
Well, I don't see that there's anything wrong with that.
No, you're too busy being happy. Do you ever think about death?
Yeah?
Oh, sure. A fleeting thought that drifts through the transom of your mind. Listen, I spend days, I spend weeks thinking about it.
I suppose you think this makes you a better person somehow.
All I'm saying is that when the shit comes down, I'm gonna be better prepared than you are. Look, all I'm saying is that when the shit comes down, I'm gonna be better prepared for it than you are. That's all.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life in Casablanca married to a man who runs a bar. That probably sounds very snobbish to you, but I don't.
Be in a passionless marriage?
And be the first lady of Czechoslovakia.
Then live with the man you've had your greatest sex in your life with just because he owns a bar and that's all he does?
Yes, and so would any woman in her right mind. Women are very practical, even Ingrid Bergman, which is why she gets on the plane at the very end of the movie.
I got it all figured out, Bana. It's an 18-hour trip, all right? That means it turns into 6 turns a person, 3 hours each.
Would you like some seats?
No, I don't really want to see. I can't really eat in between. I can't eat in between meals.
I'll roll down the window. So tell me a story of your life.
Yeah, but I mean, there's really nothing about my life. There's nothing really that's happened in my life for me to talk about. That's really why I'm on my way to New York.
Well, we got 18 hours to kill, so before we get to New York.
I mean, I would like to be a journalist. I mean, that's what I went to school for. I want to be a reporter.
So something will happen to you?
Yeah, most definitely. Something will happen.
Like what?
You know, I'm about to be. I mean, I'm gonna be reporting people. That's. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, that's one way to look at it.
So you want to write things that happen to other people?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's one way to look at it.
Suppose nothing happens to you.
Okay.
Suppose you go and live there your entire life, and you don't meet anybody, and you don't become nothing. So, finally you die. One of those deaths in New York where nobody noticed you for 2 weeks, and the smell starts to drift in the hallways.
You know, A-Man always told me you had a dark side.
That's what drew us. That's what drew her to me.
Your dark side?
Sure. Don't you have a dark side?
Yeah, of course. I have a dark side like anybody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're probably one of those people that dots their eyes in little hearts.
Excuse me for being a happy person.
Yeah. That's why when I buy a book, I always read the last page
Really?
first. This way, before I die,
You know what happens
I know what happens
at the end,
at the end,
in case I don't get a chance to read it.
in case I don't get a chance to read it.
Wow. That's surprising. That, my friend, is a dark side.
Shit, where do
It is a dark side.
It's a dark side.
A real dark side.
A real dark side.
Well, I don't have that dark side to me. I guess I've just always been known to be a happy-go-lucky person, you know?
You are a lucky old person, huh?
I try to be, you know, depending on the situation. So you tell me, what are you going to do when we get to New York?
I'm gonna become
That were free-flowing with it.
I was gonna say,
You said it
oh,
out.
man. Oh, shit, no.
That's good.
It's hard, bro.
No, I know.
It's hard, man.
There's kind of pressure on it, but...
I was gonna say, a cab and become a stripper.
That would have been so funny. Oh, man.
That, my friend, is a dark side.
And does that make you a better person?
Sure it does. Don't you have a dark side?
Sure I do. I have a dark side just like anybody else.
You're probably one of those people that